Good evening. I'm Claire Hughes, and I will be speaking on gender inequality. It is time that we all see gender as a spectrum instead of two sets of opposing ideals. This is a quote given by Emma Watson when she was asked her opinion on gender inequality. Many things going on in the world today are overlooked and ignored. One of those things being gender inequality. Gender inequality is in every aspect of our day-to-day lives. Sometimes we don't even notice that it's happening. Women should never be discriminated against due to their gender, and they should never be put in positions where they feel as though they are less than. As someone who has experienced gender inequality firsthand, I will never pass up the opportunity to tell others about it. So, today in this speech, I will be discussing a few examples of gender inequality in the workplace, how schools treat girls differently, how women are treated differently in sports, and then I will give a few recollections of my own personal experience with gender inequality. Women in the workplace are expected to have the same experiences, school, and knowledge, yet they are hardly ever treated the same. According to womenforwomen.org, we can look at the workforce as a whole, and women make up more than 50%. Of that 50%, however, women make up 1% of the wealth in the country. Studies show that women are also more susceptible to being sexually harassed. Studies show that 81% of women have experienced some form of sexual harassment in the workplace. The same schooling and training, like I said before, does not mean the same pay. One example is the medical field. In the medical field, women are paid just a fraction of what men are paid. There's an 86-cent gap between men and women pay in the medical field. This might not seem like a big thing, because how big of a deal could it be, right? 76% of the medical workforce, is women. 76% of the medical field makes 86 cents less. This was just one of the things that I found on Medical News today. Women are not treated equally in sports either. One of the biggest things that has caught my attention in my research was the difference in professional sports. There is no such thing as professional softball in the United States. The women who play softball in the United States in college must either give up their career and something they have grown to love or something that they feel is a part of them and either move to a different country or give it up. Likewise, women who make it to the WNBA do not get the same treatment as the men in the NBA. The women in the WNBA make only 80% of what the men in the NBA make. This is information I found on redwoodbark.org. As I go back to the thing about schools and how schools treat women differently, I can just see that when dress codes are put into play, there are so many things that can be used to suppress young women. Instead of young men being taught to have respect and behave, we are taught as women that we are wrong for wearing the clothes that we wear. As I refer back to the sports, a smaller reference to kind of put it into perspective is my own experience. I played golf in high school, and our fundraising was twice as hard because we had to use the same facilities as the men or as the boys, yet we did not get the same opportunities. We raised our own money. We raised money for tournaments and transportation and uniforms, stuff that if we didn't fundraise had to come straight out of our parents' pockets. I don't know if you know this, but golf is a male prominent sport. Another example is when I was in high school, I was a cheerleader. Well, our football team was gifted charter buses for our away games, some of them, and in return, the cheerleaders got to take school buses. Sometimes we even had to share with part of the band or the dance team. In conclusion, the situations that many women face are unfair. They should have never been discriminated against due to their gender. Women in many workplaces work just as hard, but they do not receive the same treatment. Schools and sports should be things that women get to enjoy, but the treatment may keep them from enjoying these things. It is also important to stay aware of the things that are happening to the people around you. Even though you may not realize it's happening, it happens in every aspect of your life. So, finally, in closing, I just wanted to add a final statement for you all to think about. Empowered people and empower people. Thank you.